Hi, and welcome to all new and returning viewers to episode 20 of the Herwoodian Crafter podcast. Episode 20, I'm still sometimes kind of struggling with the words. I'm Jutta, I'm coming to you from Tampere, Finland, and this is my podcast about knitting and sewing and dyeing yarn and, well, all kinds of crafting. It's actually been only about 2 weeks since my last recording and upload, so hooray for once getting it about what I wanted for the break between episodes to be kind of what I wanted to be. Once again, it's nap time, and in the hopes of maybe getting this done in one sitting, we'll dive right in. So I have one finished project and then 2 that you've already seen. I have just a tiny segment of sewing, and then I've been back at it with the dye pots. I'm going to show those to you as well. But the finished object is still it's damp, so I'm going to be very careful with this. Actually, all the knitting related projects are something that you've seen before, but it has been a while since you've seen them. So this is the bamboo shirt. I can't even remember when was the last time I've showed this to you, because it's been on, I think it might have been during the summer, so close to a year. But here it is. I only had the sleeves to do when this went to hiatus or hibernation or whatever you want to call it. So I've knit both the sleeves, and everything's been scraps of yarn have been sewn in or kind of woven in, and right now it's just waiting to dry out. I really wanted to wear this today, but I soaked and blocked it last night. It's still damp enough that I wouldn't want to wear that. It wouldn't be comfortable, and I don't want to kind of wreck the blocking process altogether. But yeah, that was the designer is Lea Petäjä, and the pattern is from Novita Summer 2017 magazine issue. And I used, actually I have the tag right here. This is Hjärtegarn blend bamboo. It's 70% bamboo and 30% cotton, and yeah, I used 4mm needles. I can't remember the colors anymore. This is one of them, but I don't know if it's the white or the fuchsia or whatever that color is. I have some sort of a phase going on with this color. It's really lovely, kind of a fuchsia, purpley, pinky sort of color. I have another project going on with that, but I'm trying to make that into its own episode, so I'm not going to show that to you right now. And then another thing that crawled out of hibernation is the Little Bird sweater by Veera Välimäki. And the pattern is in the Interpretations Volume 4. And the yarn is Teete Elegant, so lace weight. And actually I had to kind of start this from scratch, because I had one shoulder completely done before joining, and the other shoulder I had going on, and I couldn't remember where I had left off, because it has been over I would say around 6 months probably before, since I last touched this project. So yeah, I started from scratch, and I'm really quite happy with how it's going. It's going, for now, it's going surprisingly fast, but I'm only this little, I have only this little bit of it done, so um, I've just started on the underarm additions that come here, and then I need to do the back piece, join them all together, and then we'll see if it's fast or not. I'm using 3mm needles, like the pattern suggests, and the only thing that I really had an issue with so far in this pattern was joining the two shoulder pieces together. So the pattern says to do a backwards loop cast on, and then the next row is on the wrong side, and doing pearl stitches on these zing needles, which are not the sharpest. I'm sure that would help, but since these aren't the sharpest and I'm using lace weight yarn, and the black backwards loop cast on is not one of my favorites, even though I see how handy it can be. So I tried that. I probably didn't make it even halfway through the wrong side to knit the cast on stitches, and I just completely lost it and just threw it away, and was so annoyed with it that I felt it better to rip back a little bit and then do just your average long tail cast on, and because I'm using, of course, a cake, so I took this end, not the running yarn, but of course the other end of the yarn, and did a long tail cast on, and then just joined them. It does mean a little bit more of a kind of ends to deal with, but it was just so much easier for me. So yeah, I'm really I'm really liking the color. It's a little bit more blue on screen than it is in my hand. It's a little bit more teal in my hand, and yeah, I'm really actually quite surprised that I like knitting with smaller, excuse me, that I like knitting with such small needles and with lace weight. But so far I'm really enjoying this, but this is not actually the kind of project that I like to work on while my kid is awake. So this is mainly evening knitting after he's gone to bed. And then the last project that has crawled out of hibernation. This is actually not that old. I started this maybe, I would say February, probably. I have showed this to you before, but it's the hat that I'm knitting for my kid. So I had no pattern for this. It's just basically coming straight out of my head. This is where I was when I last showed this to you, and this is what I've knit up, and this was about 1 day's knitting that, and I'm quite sure that I'm ready to start the decreases quite soon. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but of course, as you can see, it's brioche, the main part, and then I think I might have used smaller needles to do the bottom rib for this, and then these are 3.25mm needles, so I'm not sure if I used 3mm or even 2.5, or if I used smaller needles at all. Can't remember anymore. Of course, I could have watched the last episode that I showed this to you, but I really just... I'm not sure it matters that much. But yeah, I'm using Navita Nalle. Nalle Taika. Taika means magic. Nalle means teddy bear. This is, I want to say DK weight, but I'm not 100%. 100 grams has 260 meters or 284 yards. So this, I'm sure this colorway has a name attached to it, but it doesn't say it in the tag, so I can't tell it to you right now. And then just your plain white scrap yarn I have lounging around. But yeah, I tried this on his head when I was working on this, and it fits him fine. It looks kind of like a Rastafari hat for now, but I don't care. I still probably have to do some rounds and then figure out what I'm going to do with the decreases. So we'll see. I'll get back to you. There we go. That was the knitting content for now. I have one project in sewing, and housing my little bird project for now, but in the interest of ease, I'm going to take it out. So, I think it was in the last episode that I showed you the black and white project bag with the zipper. And the bottom of this is the same, but the top is not. So here it is. I'm really liking the polka dot fabric. So in case you can't tell, I'm sure you can, but it's a deep purple, the polka dots. There's a handle here, and something I haven't done with my project bags before, drawstring bag. And the only thing is that the top fabric is a little bit too kind of sturdy. I would want this to close really kind of all the way, so I'm glad this is just for me. So it doesn't matter. So, but it's better than nothing. And then I did the string as well. So, and then I really like it because of course you can fold the top and it will stay open better, and well, it stays up quite well even without this, because it's really kind of sturdy and it has good interfacing on the bottom part. But yeah, this is a good sized bag so far. Of course the little bird is going to be, it's such a small, and kind of because it's lace weight, it's really kind of, I still have a lot of room in here. So if I'm very lucky, this might be a home for the little bird sweater for the entirety of this project. Maybe not, who knows. But yeah, I'm really happy, and this project bag worked out really well. I'm really kind of loving the purple polka dot, and I'm really liking the construction here. So great. And then this kind of an acquisition / dyeing segment, and it's been really a long time since I've last shared any kind of dyeing with you. It's been a while since I've actually really done much of dyeing at all. there's been one project which is, again, I want to try and make it its own episode, so I'm not sharing that with you either. I'm sorry, I completely kind of, well, hate is too strong of a word, but it annoys me quite easily when other podcasters say that, "Ooh, I have a project in the works and I can't share that with you." And yeah, it's really annoying, but I feel like I need to tell you that that's because they are something that I'm working on, and I really want to get them ready and share them with you. But if I want to make them into their own episodes, which I have mentioned probably every episode so far this year, so I'm sorry that it's taken so long, but as you can understand, I have a very active toddler, and I have very limited amount of time, and I want to kind of concentrate on things that I want to have something to share with you in these episodes, and then in addition I need to kind of try and work on those to stop mentioning this, that yeah, I'm working on something that I want to be its own episode, and but yeah, so back to my original theme or subject. I have been dyeing yesterday and today. So these are what I came up with yesterday, and I'm actually really happy with all of these. Doesn't matter in which order. So this, it's coming up a little dark and maybe a little bit, it's more of a warm purple in my hand, but it's really kind of lovely. I did have to dye this twice, because the first time it's basically the same kind of color, but for some reason the first time I dyed this skein it was really kind of patchy. There was stronger blues and stronger reds, and this is more even, so I'm really much more happy with this one. And then I have this very kind of warm yellow. Once again, it's a little bit colder on screen than it is in my hand, so it's a very warm kind of almost orange yellow. It was meant to be orange, but it turned up, I'm a little bit rusty with my oranges, because I had, if you've seen my older episodes where I dyed last, I had issues with the yellow dye, so I'm using food dyes with these. So I had issues with the yellow dye fading, which I've since read that it's a common problem with food dyes and so forth, but with this particular dye, I've been keeping my eye on my yellow skeins, and I feel like they fade a little bit, but not that much that I feel like it's a problem. So yeah, this is a very, very, very warm, almost orange purple. No, purple. Almost orange yellow. Get them straight in your head. And then this is a very kind of, it's a little bit faded, more faded on screen than it is in my hand, and this is a very kind of light, springy, almost highlighter kind of a green. This was really kind of lovely. And then the things that I've dyed this morning, they're still a little bit damp, but not so much that I can't show this. Here is one. So this is for me, quite a surprising yellow. I wasn't expecting exactly this outcome, but it's if this is a highlighter green, this brings to mind highlighter yellow for me. And they're not, of course, very kind of blazingly neon, because I'm quite sure you can't get those with food dyes. But still, I really kind of, I'm surprised how much I like these, even though they're very kind of bright and not my typical cup of tea. But yeah, that's actually quite a good representation on my screen, that as compared to what I have in my hand. And then because this one didn't turn out quite as orange, I was going for an orange, so this came out a little bit too yellow for that. So I dyed another skein, and this still isn't as orange as I would have liked it to be, but it's closer, and it's looking a little bit more faded on screen than it is in my hand, but still a very pale kind of, almost, I've been thinking about this, maybe something like apricot, or it's not, peach isn't the right, and I'm talking about the actual fruit, not the color peach, which is much more pinkish orange. But I think maybe something like apricot or honey will come to mind from this. And in comparison, I'm not sure you can tell the difference. Actually, yeah, there is a little bit of a difference, but I'm not sure you can tell. Well, there you can go. That's there you can see that it isn't exactly the same. This is a little bit more orange, but still not quite as orange as I wanted it to be. So I will have to keep experimenting with those. And then I have two skeins that were another type of experiments, and I really like both. But what I found interesting is that there's noticeable difference in the shade, but actually I dyed them with the same recipe, with the exact same amount of dye. But of course, there is the fact that this is 50 grams, and this is 100 grams. So of course, that's what it is, and that's kind of what I wanted to try out. But the other thing is that for me, this is much more red, and this is a very kind of pale, reddish, lilac-y type of color. So that was an interesting thing for me. You can see that it's very similar, but still, yeah, this is a lot more pinkish, and this is, yeah, I don't know. I like them both, really, really, really. I do like them both, but it was very interesting. Most of these will be socks, ankle length socks. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with this 100-gram skein. What I'm going to do with that, I don't quite know yet, but we'll see. Yes. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a short little episode, but I'm not sure you mind. I like when other podcasters do the hour-long episodes, and I really, if I didn't feel like I have to hurry, I can easily get an hour's worth of footage, but then again, I really kind of, that would be kind of prattling on about just about nothing. So this way, when I feel like I'm in a little bit of a time crunch, I get to the point. I'm very good at getting to the point, but I kind of easily shave off all the non-essential bits. But even though I like when people do an hour-long episodes, I really kind of like also the shorter episodes that some people put out, because basically you get the essentials, but yeah, you get the essentials, And I'm not sure anyone really wants to kind of spend an hour with me if they don't have to. Especially people of the internet. Of course, there are people who, friends and family, who appreciate my company, and I'm not saying that you don't appreciate my company, but I don't know exactly who you are. I'm happy you're there. I'm happy to share, but I wouldn't presume to take up all of your time or an hour's worth of your time and still kind of be certain that it's worth your time. I'm quite insecure about many things, especially when it comes to social situations, but still, I'm very happy you're there. The last thing I did want to mention is about my stash busting efforts, and well, since I bought yarn for those experiments, my in-out balance in my stash is quite close to zero, but still I have gone over the 1 kilogram mark in regards to what I've been crafting. So I have used up more than 1 kilogram of yarn since last November, which is not too shabby. I just need to kind of try and get some projects finished. But that is coming. I finished one thing this week, and I hope I will finish more projects in the next few weeks. And yeah, that's about it this time. Thank you, seriously. I appreciate all of you that watch me. The few of you, I've actually been thinking about how it kind of would be nice to have more subscribers, but then if I did suddenly get a burst of a lot of new subscribers, I would probably panic and kind of get anxious about it. So thank you to each and every one of you who watch this or have subscribed or whatever. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending some time with me or whatever. I'm really kind of just getting myself mixed up about this. But if you like this episode, you might push the like button, or if you haven't yet, you might consider subscribing to my channel. But whatever you do, I'm so thankful for your time, and until I see you next time, I hope you have a very lovely time crafting. Bye bye.